The paranormal theme is something I like. It seems entertaining to me and sometimes even fantastic. But you never really understand what fear of the unknown is until you come across something that exceeds logic, and no matter how much you try to find an explanation, you can't. My experience happened 2 months ago. I work at a federal office, and at certain times the workload is excessive. I've always been obsessive about my work. That night I took the work home because none of my colleagues could help me. I was staying at my family's house in the Borreguera neighborhood, near my job. It was about 11 at night when I got home. I took a shower and got comfortable. I thought it would be a long night. I would be up until dawn reviewing books and files until I finished. I sat at the desk where I usually worked, next to my bedroom, beside a large window that looked out onto a canal and some fields. I always kept it open so the night air could come in. The clock read 4 in the morning when I finally finished. I was about to turn off the computer and put away the material I had used when, in the distance, I noticed a strange noise from outside. It put me on alert. At first nothing, and then the sound returned. I paid attention and realized it was coming from the nearby canal. It was a lament, pitiful and long and terrifying, like a woman being hurt. At first I thought it might be the television. In the bedroom my husband was sleeping and I usually left the TV on. I went in, opened the bedroom door, and when I did I heard the lament again, but the television was showing a commercial. I was paralyzed, feeling the cold of the room and the faint hissing of the air freshener. Fear took over. I thought maybe someone was being attacked, or worse, but the sound wasn't a normal moan or cry. I closed the window and didn't want to get involved. I went to bed. The cold was intense. My husband slept peacefully. I lay down beside him, pulled the blanket over us, and hugged him. He trembled. I tried to close my eyes, but then I heard the lament again, this time closer, as if it were right at the entrance to the house. It was loud and clear. Sleep became impossible. I turned on the television and put it on a children's program. I raised the volume and prayed to calm myself, but the cold and the anxiety of hearing that wail over and over prevented me from concentrating. I don't know when I fell asleep. Fatigue finally defeated me. At dawn I woke up feeling strange and tried to convince myself it had been a dream. Over breakfast I told my husband what had happened. He tried to reassure me and said it might have been a hallucination from stress and lack of sleep. Those days I was sleeping 3 to 4 hours because of the workload. We said goodbye and went to our jobs. A few days passed. One night I was at the office working, going through files. Around 10 at night my husband called. He told me he was going to stay at the neighbor's house because he had to do paperwork at a nearby office. I told him not to sleep there because I had access to the workplace and we agreed to see each other the next day for lunch. Around 2 in the morning the phone rang again. I was so focused on the screen that the ringtone made me jump. When I answered, my husband sounded nervous and altered. He told me he had left the house and was in the car, and then, to my surprise, he said he believed me. He'd heard the same horrible lament on the street, that disturbing, long, scurrying wail. He said he stepped outside, saw the neighbor's light on, and the neighbor came out and greeted him. My husband asked if he had heard the lament. The neighbor admitted he had heard it too. He was awake because his daughter was unwell and he was taking care of her, but he hadn't wanted to be afraid. My husband said goodbye and left quickly, trying to put distance between himself and whatever had been wandering around. Since those nights we have believed that what we heard might have been a mournful spirit, what many call a Llorona.